Anyway, one of the biggest games that we as a group of gamers started playing together. Before it was Counter-Strike basically, and before Counter-Strike it was what did we play before Counter-Strike as a
We
group?
played Apex for a bit.
Apex, right? We had the Apex binge. We played that like for 3-4 months, I think. And before that, we played
I mean, between Counter-Strike and now, we tried all kinds of...
Overwatch. You had a bit of time there.
No, we played a lot of Overwatch. I have over 500 hours.
Yeah, I put
But-
like 200 hours in that shit.
But the team, like including you, we also tried Rainbow Six. We also
Oh
tried
yeah. I'm talking about the games that we played like more than a fucking month. You know, there wasn't too many of those.
Yeah, so Overwatch,
Apex, CS that we played for years, and now
we still do sometimes.
yeah, we still do. We probably would go back to it eventually. It's the one game that you always come back to.
Yeah, no, because the one thing that pushes me away from the game, which the other games don't have, is just the one thing, and it's that the games are an hour usually, and
Too
if
long.
you get a bad game,
Yeah,
it's just not worth it. You know, you're stuck there for half an hour, and it's
yeah. It sometimes
It's miserable.
It could be very. Some
miserable.
games are very bad. Yeah, no doubt.
so. In all the other games, when you have a bad game, the game ends, and then you start a new one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so the new craze for us, the new game, which probably is, I'd say, it's the game that caught our attention for the longest out of all of those games that we mentioned before, except of obviously CS that we've been playing for years and years, is Warzone. Warzone came to our lives. Call of Duty Warzone came to our lives like in, I think it was March of this year, 2020, right?
Oh, you boys also played Blackout for a while.
Yeah, Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
We played the Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Yeah. We did. Yeah, that was
You boys
yeah.
played that. For
That
a
was
while.
like again. That was like 3-4 months that survived. This
Yeah, but
game.
that's because the game buried itself, not because.
Yeah. But for me, it was the same with Apex. Apex was getting stale, very stale, and they made a lot of mistakes there as well, in my opinion. Apex just didn't hit good enough. It was a very good game. It's still a very good game.
Do you count Payday as a multiplayer game?
Yeah, sure, but it's more. It's not a competitive.
Yes,
it's a
not
co-op.
competitive. It's a
So it's hard to me to count it. It's more of a chill out game, you
Yeah.
could say, even though it's quite intensive.
intensive chill out.
Yeah, but yeah, we need to find something like that. We need to find that for our group. But for our competitive needs, Warzone took over, and
Yeah,
it's probably the longest we've played the game for a while. It's like 6 months now. I think
Yeah.
more than that even, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a lovely free-to-play game.
it is. It's a good game. The core game.
Microtransaction fest.
Yeah, it has a battle pass system, and of course it has a shop. To
Nothing
be fair,
pay to win. It's all cosmetic.
yeah, and to be fair, the shop's prices seem not that I've used it, but it seems fair, and it gives you points to in-game points that you can buy stuff with during the battle passes. The battle passes are fair. You usually get enough by the end of the battle pass.
If you play enough, you can buy the next one.
You can usually
don't have
buy
to pay every
if you finish the battle pass,
Yes.
which is fair.
You don't have to finish. I never finished the battle.
And you still had enough.
Yes.
So
I never finished.
That's
the
even
battle
more. That's even more impressive. So, and by the way, this wasn't the case with Apex. I remember with Apex there was a problem. I didn't feel the battle passes were as rewarding as the battle passes in this
pass.
game.
Yes.
That's another reason I left that game. But Warzone first, the good things.
I don't think I bought the battle pass in Apex, and I did here.
I did the first one. I did for sure. I supported the first battle pass because I was impressed by. You remember I was very impressed by Apex at first. The game is a good game in its core. It's a very good game. It's the decisions that they made later that pissed me off. But we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about Warzone. Warzone is another very very good free to play game. If you love battle royales and if you love modern first person shooters, which both are things that I love, then it is the ultimate game to play with a competitive
If you
environment.
like gunplay, this is the ultimate game for you.
Yeah, it's a gun porn game,
Yes, it's
basically.
gun porn.
You can modify every
Whoa.
weapon, do whatever you want with the
I
weapons.
get chills.
Yeah, if you love like your MP5, your AKs, your M4s, all that shit, and you love customizing with your Ranger grips and your, all your different sights and all the
And
different stocks and shit like that,
Yeah.
and ammo modifications. It's
fully
a great.
customizable, and it makes a difference. The different customizations do make a difference in game,
Yeah.
and you can customize it to your playstyle.
Yeah, you
it's
can
awesome.
make like some weapons can turn into different archetype of weapons. Like you can turn like a
AR into a sniper rifle.
Yes.
You can turn a light machine gun into an AR.
Exactly. So it's the base game is excellent. The graphics are excellent. It's a very heavy game on the computer. Warzone is probably the heaviest game I've ever played in my life.
Heavy also on CPU, not just.
I'm talking in general, not just GPU, but both CPU and GPU. Very CPU intensive. If you don't have a strong CPU, you will eat shit with this game, as you know very well.
With all the praise, it's a buggy mess.
No, we'll get to that. I'm talking about the good things first. I want to get
okay, because we're praising it. And
hey man, I'm assuming that whoever is listening to this, maybe they haven't ever played the game before. They might be interested, so we're trying to tell them what's the game. And and by the way, I will say that no matter we will be shitting on the game a lot in a moment. I still recommend it in the end of the day because it's still a free-to-play, very good game. In the end of the day,
there's no reason not to try it when it's free-to-play.
Yeah,
no.
We got so many.
Give it 10 hours and then decide.
We as a group, as a collective, got so many hours of enjoyment from the game that really being salty right now and like being a bit what's the word tired of it is natural at this point. It's still the longest game we've played, the longest time we played the game together ever since CS, I think, for quite a while, and Overwatch maybe. I didn't play Overwatch with you guys.
I wonder how many hours I put into it.
Into Overwatch?
No,
into Warzone?
Yeah.
Let's check. I put more than that.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot more.
I put the least time from all of us.
Yeah, and I played the base Modern Warfare game as well. I played the campaign.
And you played the multiplayer.
I played the multiplayer to unlock some shit. I did. I got my money's worth. More than my money's worth out of that game for sure.
I still contemplate sometimes buying the single player campaign for the Call of Duty because it's good. Exactly.
It's good.
So, and I like a first person narrative.
I'll be honest, it's another one of those games that I'd wait after you get a new computer for, because the ray tracing and that game are amazing.
Yes. Any game that is heavy on the graphics, I would need the new computer.
Yeah. Do you have a way to see how many hours in the Blizzard fucking Battle.net? I don't think you do, like in Steam.
There has to be a way. We just don't know what it is.
I don't know either. I've actually don't think there is a way. I'll be honest with you. Try not to uninstall by mistake.
Continue talking about the game. Let's not stop the flow.
Oh yeah, sorry. So, Warzone. So, the core game is 150 people, which is, by the way, the highest to date in any battle royale game ever. 150.
Didn't they even have mods with more? Because, like the quads has 50 teams. That's 200 people.
So it's 200.
In the quads mode, because you have 50 teams and it's 4 people per team.
Yeah, it's 200, bro. Yeah, so it's the highest count player of Battle Royale with a huge map that I've ever seen. And so the technology is very impressive. Of course, sometimes you get some lag issues here and there, but most of the games are stable.
Yeah.
And that's impressive considering how many people are in the same map at the same time.
No, you can... We might mention bugs, but the game is playable. There's nothing that breaks your game.
No, it's very good. So the core game is like any battle royale. You jump from the fucking airplane to a point with your solo or with your team, and you pick up shit on the ground. You pick up money. You pick up weapons, random weapons. You pick up, shit like that.
Ammo, weapons,
tacticals, grenades. And once you get enough money, you can run to shops, and in those shops you can buy a loadout. A loadout is something that's unique to this game, by the way, from other battle royales. It's basically, if you've played any Modern Warfare before, if you've played any of the Call of Duty games before, then you know what it is. But if you didn't, it's basically your own customized battle uniform, if you want. Your own weapons that you customize to your own liking with your own attachments and your own tacticals and your own perks. And you can pick it up from like a box that drops from the sky, from the plane, basically as a loadout drop. And you can get that after getting enough money.
They also dropped randomly during the game anyway.
Yeah, they also drop randomly. Yeah. If you get that loadout, it gives you a big competitive advantage on people who don't have it because it gives you perks.
But everyone has a loadout. It's not something that is
Not everyone.
blocked by money. No, everyone has a chance to get a
Oh
loadout.
yes, but you need to scavenge for the money effectively, efficiently, or
Or
do
one of the drops.
or do bounties. There's also bounties, or rather contracts.
Missions, yeah,
Contracts that you can pick up, different contracts like taking over a control point or.
No, but I'm saying even if you hide in a corner with a pistol
Mm-hmm.
and wait enough time, a loadout might drop next to you and you
Sure,
can get
that's the RNG aspect of it.
it. Sure. So I'm saying you
Yeah.
can get a loadout anyway.
But
Everyone
even-
has a loadout. It's
even-
not something that
yeah,
gives you.
Yeah, of course, it is a competitive edge, but
No, it is an edge. But you don't. Even someone who started playing today can still have a loadout. That's
yes,
what I mean.
but their loadouts will probably be.
And yeah, they need to play to
Ye-
upgrade their weapons.
Yeah, the game is built in a way that you need to unlock a lot of shit in order to make your loadouts effective.
Yes.
So it's not exactly for the new player who comes into the game. I guess that it will match him with similar players, with similar new
Yes.
accounts, so he won't get like fucked too hard by people getting loadouts, right?
Hopefully.
I imagine that it can't be that they didn't do it like this because this is right now one of the most successful multiplayer games in the world. It's like millions of active users every day. Very, very, very successful. Free to play, as we said before. And the gameplay is very fun. It's what our group, 4 friends, have been playing for the last, I don't know how many months now, more than 6 months. And it sustained us through the whole Corona.
It started in March. That's
Yeah.
8 months.
8 months. That's a long time, man. A long time to be playing one game. For us as a group, it's very rare for us to stick on a game for that long. And and that's the good things about the game. However, it has some issues. And that's putting it lightly. Because we played the game for so many hours, as we previously mentioned, as a group and individually, we've also encountered many of the issues that this game has. You wanna maybe? I feel like I talked a lot. You wanna talk about some of them? Mention some of them?
Let's start with optimization and bugs.
Yeah.
So the game gives you a very solid feeling that whoever is working on patching and maintaining the game is a bunch of high school
Dropouts.
dropouts doing like like that volunteering or something to prove themselves before they are hired for real jobs or something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Every new patch breaks the game in a new way.
Yeah.
Optimization goes out the window.
The game started better optimized than it is today,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think I lost about, and this is, I'm not exaggerating, I think I lost around 60 FPS in average since the game launched.
And you improved your rig in this time.
Yes!
And you improved your hardware.
If I had the hardware that I have now, at the beginning of the game, when we started
Yeah.
playing it, like with the before all the seasons and all that,
Yeah.
I probably would have hit like close to, if I didn't cap it to 144, I could probably hit a 200 FPS on this fucking game.
Bro,
Now I can barely hit 140, bro. I can barely hit it.
my old ass cobwebbed computer started this game with around 80 FPS on average.
Yeah, and
And
that's,
now after I tweaked it,
yeah, heavily
heavily.
tweaked it.
I run on 40. On average.
That's so bad, man.
It's barely playable on 40. Barely.
Oh,
You
God.
you feel the advantage of other players.
Yeah. It's a very, very heavy game, and it does matter. I mean, sure, the difference between 144 FPS and 100 FPS is not huge. You will feel it if it drops from 144 to 100 in a suddenly. You will feel something. It will feel like almost like lag,
Yeah.
but that almost never happens in my new hardware. However, I can only imagine how bad it is for you, man. I can only because you have a much older configuration than I do.
Basically, every time when the shit hits the fan in Warzone, you know, someone's shooting at us and we start yelling and you need to run fast for cover and whatever, that's always when my FPS drops to 5 and you guys are like, why are you standing around? I'm not. I'm waiting for the computer to move.
Man, yeah, you're getting screwed over by that fucking horrible optimization. Hopefully, they said that they're going to add that one. I don't think it will matter for you. It might. No, it won't, because your GPU won't be able to support the technology. I'm not sure. Do you know what DLSS is?
I think mine can support DLSS.
It can. If it can, you might be in luck, because I think DLSS is coming to Warzone very soon, because it came to Cold War, to the new Call of Duty that came out, and it's the same fucking engine.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a few upgrades and optimizations to the new engine, but
I don't know, those high school dropout interns.
so yeah, those guys are probably being replaced by the guys that are now being. I mean, it's a different team. Infinity Ward made Modern Warfare and created a Warzone, and the guys who made the new Black Ops game that just released, Cold War, are. The name of the company is what the fuck are their name? Infinity Ward? No, Raven? No, Sledgehammer Games. I think those are the guys who made Black Ops. So it's a different company under the umbrella of EA, but different company. They have like 3 different companies on a yearly rotation working at those. It's Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, and another company that I forgot the name. Okay, so maybe I'm hoping. What I heard is that every year when a new game is released, the company that releases the game is the one that takes over the Warzone aspect of the game. Because Warzone keeps stays free to play towards all and keeps getting updated throughout the years as a separate game mode.
Yeah.
Right now, at first it wasn't like that. It was a part of Modern Warfare. But now they actually made the right call and made it separatable, and also reduced the size of the fucking game. That's another issue. The game took nearly 230 fucking gigabytes off my fucking SSD.
Wow.
Yeah. When it was fully installed with the
SSD that loud, nice.
Yeah, I do. It's a I think it's a 1 terabyte SSD or some shit like that.
Me want.
Anyways, it took a lot of my SSD's fucking storage, and it wasn't worth it, because I wasn't playing the campaign anymore, and it was nearly not playing at all the multiplayer anymore. It was mostly for Warzone. So they made it now moddable. You can remove you can only install what you want.
Yeah.
So Sledgehammer are supposed to be taken over in the next update. The next Battle Pass, it will be Sledgehammer and not Infinity Ward. So maybe it means they also control the GUI elements of the game, which are horrible. Another one of if we want to talk about the bugs and stuff like that, it has some of the worst graphical user interfaces I've ever seen in my life. When you're not playing the game and you're in the lobby area, that whole aspect of the game is really bad. Really, really bad.
That's what I was about to say. That in the patches broke every time the game.
Yeah.
And besides that, you can categorize the bugs into 2 worlds. User interface of the menus and the game itself.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, the user interface of the menus is so messed up.
So bad, bro.
So messed up.
It's simple things like changing your skin is being complicated.
When you're in a group, basically you can't go to any menu you want. The group leader, where he goes, everyone goes.
Yeah, if you're going to customize your loadout,
and he goes to the main menu,
and you're not the guy,
everyone's in the main menu.
Yeah, if your group leader is from some reason is leaving the main menu, and he's still in your group, but he just leaves the main menu for whatever reason, and you were in the middle of constructing the ideal weapon and loadout, it breaks that shit up and it forgets everything you did. Fuck! Fuck you, Activision. And the game itself,
your friend list is always empty. You can have 10 friends online. It doesn't matter. They don't show up on your friends list in game.
In game, yeah.
The
integration between battle
and sometimes you see a friend's name that is not the friend who is actually represented in that icon. Like, you press on it, and it's inconsistency. But when you don't press the details, it says Gal Zohar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you, it's like when you finish a game and you see the scoreboard in the end.
It's empty.
No. Sometimes empty is the good choice. Sometimes it shows you the different names of people.
Yeah.
You want to see how many kills you had, and you see like Boaz or some shit like that. Who the fuck is Boaz? That's not my name.
The Angry Smeister or something.
Yeah. What the fuck is this shit? Such weird bugs like that shows that the quality control is really bad there. Really bad. They don't care about it
The
at all.
menus are such a buggy mess.
And how do you explain the fact that they still haven't fixed when you run in the game? In the game, not GUI here, like in-game, gameplay related. When you run, to this day, you can't mount some areas. You can't even get through a fucking window.
The game
You
can't
press
handle-
spacebar.
Can't handle obstacles. The
Yeah,
game just cannot handle.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's completely
Yeah,
random.
yeah.
You don't know.
You fight with windows. You're supposed to just jump through.
Bro, the amount of
man, the amount
times.
of times I fight with the windows.
The amount of times I got killed trying to jump through a fucking window. A
yeah.
team coming, I hear them. I know what all I gotta do is jump to a fucking window to safety. That's all I gotta
you
do.
even time it, you know.
Yeah. And you press the fucking space bar and you just
And
your
you
character
kind of
just
jumps in
steps
front of it. Yes.
just jumps in place, makes a fucking useless grunt, and then a second later you're getting shot in your
You
ass
see
and
your
you
blood
die.
all over the
Yeah,
window.
and you fucking die and you rage quit. Fuck this fucking shit, bro. It happens so many times. It's the game has been out for 8 months and they still haven't fixed it.
You follow your team. Your leader goes over the rock. Your friend goes over the rock. Your other friend goes over the rock. Your turn. Nope.
Oh my god, bro.
Nope. That rock is too high for you.
The game can get so intense at times, though. To its credit, when you get to a good game, or when there's like high intensity fights, and your group is communicating, that's when the game is at its best. It's an absolute peak. But when those moments happen, that's when if one of those bugs hit, that's when it's the most frustrating. You know what I mean?
Random crashes.
If it happens in a shit game, whatever. In a shit match, whatever. But if it happens in a good match, and like Nate crashes or I crash,
But the stuff we said until now, those are consistent in the game for a long
a
time.
long time.
There are bugs that come and go.
Yeah, we're not
And
crying
those-
about like new shit. We're crying about shit that's been there from the beginning.
No, and I'm saying, and there's a whole bucket of recurring bugs that come and go.
Yeah.
Like depending on the patch.
Yes.
FPS drops, random crashes, sound problems, footstep problems.
Oh yeah, the footsteps mixing is terrible.
The
sound is amazing.
So many things that get broken every time they
Yes.
patch.
The sound, I want to say, the sound itself in the game is amazing. The sound itself, the sound assets are highest of quality, very good. But the sound mixing of the audio of the footsteps is very bad, especially vertical footsteps.
Yes.
You can't realize if someone is above you or under you.
No, only peripheral.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if someone is outside or inside. The sound mixing is bad in a game where sound is very, very important. Continue. What were you saying before that?
Yeah. We were talking about the bugs, and I said we mentioned the consistent bug, but there are also a lot of bugs that come and go,
Yes.
and it just feels all the time, every patch, like the people who handle this, who develop this, feel incompetent,
Yeah.
and that is a bit of an oxymoron because the game is very good when it was launched, unless they change the team or something.
I told you what my theory is.
Yeah, you told me.
I told you. I think they just. But then again, if you.
Say the theory first.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my theory is that what happened. I mean, it is Activision after all. One of the most greediest, most fucking. We talked about the corporations enough on this show.
Yeah.
So, Activision have a yearly rotation of COD games. They have, like I said before, 3 fucking different companies working on 3 different COD games.
Yeah.
The Black Ops, the Modern Warfare, and there's another one.
It's always the same names. It's so funny.
Yeah, and another one which I forgot what it is, Advanced Warfare or some shit like that.
No, there's Modern Warfare, Black Ops,
And Advanced Warfare or something like that. I can't remember. It's that forgettable. Okay, so because they're all the same. They're all basically the fucking same. And it's here.
That's Modern Warfare too.
Yeah, Modern Warfare, Black Ops. That's Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops, and that's Cold War. So
Which
what
is
hap-
also Black Ops.
So what happened is Infinity Ward, which are the core team there is very good at what they do. They've made COD games from since ever, and they created the Warzone mode, which was very good, which is still very good in the base of it. The game mechanics, the how the guns feel, very satisfying, and
I don't like it that the recoil is not real, but that's
there's enough recoil.
personally.
Some weapons have a lot of recoil. It depends.
You can
It depends
still
on the
put-
attachments.
You can put some attachments that make the recoil basically non-existent.
And some weapons.
And that's not real, and that's not realistic in any way. Any
Nah,
automatic weapon
it's
you
still a
fire
game.
automatically all the time.
It's still a game, bro. It's still a game.
Yeah.
A game. It's the right balance between.
It's okay that you accept it. I'm just saying. For me, it feels because the recoil in CS feels a lot more realistic. It's very hard.
Sure,
to
but
control
in
your
CS,
weapon there.
but then again in CS you always shoot from your fucking hip. You never even aim down sight,
Yeah, but what's
which is about as realistic
unless,
as my ass.
unless you have a scope and
Yeah,
why? But,
yeah, of course.
But why would I use the aim if there's no recoil anyway?
No, there is enough recoil. You're exaggerating. You do need to pull your weapon down. There is skill involved in shooting, especially in long ranges and mid ranges. In close range, of course not. But in mid to long ranges, if you even if you have the perfect fucking weapon, the perfect attachment, you need some sort of recoil control. Unless you're mounted. If you're mounted, then there is zero recoil. Nothing. You just point and click. That's the only way. But being mounted exposes you very much to you're a stationary target basically. You're half concealed, but you don't consider that maybe a team behind you coming or a rooftop or some shit like that. So you know what I mean? You're only half concealed to the target you're shooting at, but you're not half concealed from anyone else. So
You're not countering my point. You're just saying it's a case by case thing.
yeah.
What I'm saying is you got automatic ARs in this fucking game that you can fully automatically empty
Yes, that's not realistic.
your
Of course,
clip
that's not realistic.
and have or civilians use clips. This
Of
is
course,
called
it's not
magazine.
realistic. Of course, it's not realistic. But it does feel appropriate to the game world that it created. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Of course, it's not realistic. Of course.
Okay.
You can play more realistic games.
Gunplay feels good. Okay.
The game, yes, that's my fucking point. The gunplay feels very good, and so we were trying to talk about my theory. So every year a new company. So they finish creating this game, and my working theory is that the second they finish creating this fucking game, they take their A team that created the game and take them to start working on the new game that will be released next year or 2 years, whatever. Okay. It takes time to develop those big games, right? It's AAA games. So, and what happens is they leave their B team to maintain on maintenance mode to maintain the fucking the current game that's left because it's a live service that's the Warzone is supposed to be something that's separate from all the Call of Duties and something that's its own entity that's supposed to be supported by the company that released the game at that current year.
Yeah.
So it was Infinity War till now, and from the next update, by the way, which should happen any day now, in the next, probably this week even, will be handled by Sledgehammer, the guys who made the Blackout. Is this good or bad? We don't know. We don't know.
Even without saying if Sledgehammer is good or bad, without comparing the companies one to another.
Yes.
When you have a coding project this huge.
Yeah.
And you change the entire team, it's bad.
Yeah, but I imagine they all know the engine because they all work on.
Yeah, but it's still
kind of the sword engine.
Even so, the people who worked on it have hands-on experience with this code.
Yeah.
And those guys need to affiliate to familiarize themselves now with a completely new wall of commands and codes and whatever.
Yeah, but listen. First of all, this is just a theory. We don't even know if this is true. It's just something that we're thinking about because it doesn't make sense that the game itself is so fucking good, but there's such blatant, horrible, fucking basic bugs that haven't been fixed for so long.
There could be other explanations. Bad management.
Of course, yeah.
It could be other things.
But that I'd put bad management under the same category as putting your B team on it. That's bad management in my opinion. That's the same thing basically.
No, but even if you keep your A team, but you switch the project manager because that one has been moved to a new game, okay? And the new one is a dipshit.
Yeah.
That can also affect the way the game looks because eventually the developers have to do what he wants, what he says.
Yeah. Yeah, so the game has a lot of issues. It has a lot of cheater problems. We encountered a lot of
I don't know
cheaters.
if a lot is the word. Come on, we don't run into them every game.
Listen, it depends. It
was a lot worse in CS.
Yes, there's some weeks where you don't run at all, and there's some weeks where I feel like every other game there's a fucking cheater. Or you know what? Sometimes it's not a cheater. A lot of times it's just a person who we should not be playing against, like someone who's been.
Disagree. I do feel like we run to very skilled.
The skill-based matchmaking in this game is very bad, very very bad. We're average player, slightly above average. Okay, my KDA is like a 1.54, some shit like that. I'm sure Nate is like 1.6, some shit like that. It's slightly above average. Okay, maybe slightly above average. Okay. I heard someone said that the average, some developers say that the average is actually 0.8, which semes weird to me.
What? That means that I'm above average.
Yeah, you are above average, by the way. You are above average, for sure.
My KDA is 0.88.
So I also think you're above average in how you play, because you played enough hours with us, and you've done enough in this game to already know a lot of stuff that casual players don't. Just by the hours you spend in the fucking game. Okay? So what was I saying?
I have a
Wait, don't. Come on. We were in a schwung.
Yes. And I have a Russian friend who wants to play this.
Okay.
If I bring him to the team, Nate is gonna go ballistic.
No, we don't bring him to the game.
It's a Russian and a Polish in the same team.
What was I saying, bro? Come on, fuck.
Your theory.
We already talked about the theory, but
yes, you were just finishing it. You weren't making a point.
Yeah, I forgot. Fucking weed, bro.
No, but I usually remember when we sidetrack. You weren't saying anything.
I was trying to make some point, but I forgot about it.
You were summarizing a point.
Yeah. I was saying there's some. About the skill matchmaking. Yeah. It's very bad in the game. You feel like you're playing against people who have like twice your KDA, or people who are never miss. Even if they're not cheaters, it feels like you're playing against cheaters. And
sometimes it feels like you're being lasered.
Yeah,
but this in part has to do with what I said, because I like to play around with the weapons, with the attachments and the things, and try new stuff.
Yeah.
But if you stick to the meta weapon, which changes from season to season, but if you stick to the meta weapon, which usually has the attachments that make it have zero recoil when you spray with, even from medium range, of course you feel like you laser down. Because if they catch you by surprise when you're looting or buying or standing for a second, they aim at your head, that thing has zero recoil, and all the shots are true.
But if the target is moving, bro, it depends
on... Sure, but if you have some skilled aim, so if you put this in the hands of a skilled player...
That's what I'm saying, yeah, and there's a lot of skilled players.
I'm not saying skill has nothing to do with
it,
but
we're a bunch of old men.
This is coupled with...
Yes, we're a bunch of old men with slow reflexes, and, we play this game almost every day, but we're a bunch of old fucks. We don't play a lot. We play like between an hour to some. In the good nights it's 3 hours. In the bad nights it's an hour, even less. So, and lately it feels like it's more bad nights than good. So, because the game is getting a bit stale. We played it like for a long time, for a while, and it doesn't feel like there's enough changes lately. I feel like there needs to be like big changes to.
I still enjoy it.
I do too, but it does feel a bit stale for me. I feel like we unlocked all the weapons. At least I unlocked all the weapons, all the attachments I wanted. There's no new weapon to experience it. All those stuff are supposed to change very soon with the new battle pass, with the new company taking over. There's rumors of a new map. We'll see. And of course, I hope they fix all the shit that we talk about.
New map would be cool.
A new map would be very cool. That will be a big...
Although they did change stuff on this map, which made it cool also.
But
opening the stadium,
I think the change... Yeah, but I think some of the changes fucked it up. I think the train fucked the optimization up of the game. I think the train is one of the biggest reasons people are losing so much optimization. It's not just us. If you go into the Reddit of the game, you hear a lot of people complaining about performance.
Sure.
It's a very, very problematic game for people, especially people who stream. If they don't have a very strong computer, they're getting fucked if they want to stream it. Which is why one of the reasons, by the way, that I got the upgrade. I want to actually stream the game in the future. Anyways, let's switch over to another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because we don't have much longer left. I wanted to ask you about both Outer Worlds and Terminator Resistance. Which one of them would you like to talk about?
Let's start with Resistance because it's a
shorter. Yeah. So Terminator Resistance.
Yeah. So I told you about this game the last podcast, basically.
I think so, yeah.
When you actually checked it out also, and added it to some list.
I didn't play it. I just
you checked it out on Steam and on the storefront and showed interest.
Yeah, and you haven't played yet when we recorded last.
Yes, I said I'm going to, but I said I heard reviews that called it a Fallout-esque and open world and a first-person shooter and whatever, which is all lies.
Yeah.
Those things are up my alley, and this was not that, but it's still a good game.
Okay.
It's a very good game. So let me start.
It's a very good game, you said?
I enjoyed it, yes.
Okay. Because you had a lot of fun.
This depends on what you like in games. I can tell you what the things that would probably not rub off on everyone. I have criticism, but when I'm saying it's a good game, I enjoyed it. When I finished it, it was like, nice. This was a good run. It was a great game. I put it in the library, and you look at it once in a while, and you smile, and you're like, that was nice.
Okay.
It's a good game.
Okay.
It's not very long. I think it was 30 hours or something to finish it. I'm not sure. Or we can check, but it doesn't really matter. This is a story game. Okay? My comparison would not be to Fallout. My comparison would be to, for example, Wolfenstein. This is a first-person shooter where once the story kicks in and you start, you finish the prologues and stuff or whatever.
By the way, this is without spoilers.
No spoilers.
So don't worry, we're not talking many spoilers on any game.
No spoilers. So, but just like in Wolfenstein, you have like a base where as the story progresses, you also find new secrets in the base, like with the lore or NPCs that react to something, nice snippets of things that make the world feel more alive. Okay, so you have this base, and from there you just go on missions that progress the story. When you go to a mission, it takes you to a new map that was a very well-designed level design, and you can be sneaky through vents or small things.
Is it all on the same planet?
It's Terminator.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's all on planet Earth.
Okay. No, I mean, but it all happens like in the future.
Yes, it's all you're in the future of the Terminator franchise.
Yeah, yes.
Like the after Judgment Day.
Yes.
So a new map has an objective usually and side objectives. This is a very typical linear story first-person shooter, like Wolfenstein, like I think you can even say to some extent BioShock.
This is from a small developer, right?
Yes. The game mechanic feels okay. Gunplay isn't amazing. I will get to this in the criticism. So first I have to say this game is very, very loyal to the first and second Terminator. Okay? So fans of the franchise, especially old fucks like us, who got into it with the first movies and before they lost all control.
Yes.
Okay? Which I have to say in a closed section, I still enjoyed everything. I like the entire franchise, even the new movies and the old. I have my criticism on them, but I'm still a fan. I like it. Okay. Even the Sarah Connor Chronicles and everything. I like it all. Give me stuff to consume. I like it.
Okay.
But even so, the first and the second ones are like the pillar, and everything else is around it.
Yes.
This game is very, very loyal to those. The game world gives you the experience that you are experiencing, the game world, the lore world of those two movies. You see elements that you saw in those movies that will stand out immediately, like, that was in the movie. And they will play out parts of the scenes that you have seen in the movies, like in the future, like you're a part of them now in the game. Like they're happening to you.
That sounds great.
So it's really nice.
How is it graphically, aesthetically?
Yeah, it's nice. You get the feel of a ruined world.
The atmosphere.
Atmosphere, yes, and then hunter killers fly over you and you hide from them until you get a way to kill them. This is part of the criticism, but like everything is killable in the end.
But you know, the two movies, which are like you said, not just from the franchise, not are just the best of the franchise. There's two of the arguably the best sci-fi movies in modern history, in my opinion.
Terminator 2 is a landmark, is a hallmark.
Yes. I mean, so...
It was a game changer.
It was also a technological...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a game changer in its time.
James Cameron usually does that. Every few years he comes with a new technology.
Didn't he do that with Avatar as well?
Yeah,
that's not him.
He did. No, it's exactly the same guy.
Exactly.
He made the first two Terminators and he made Avatar.
I'd say the leap in the things he showed in Terminator 2 is the same like the leap he showed in Avatar.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. But what I was saying is that in those two movies, most of those movies take a place in our time, like in not before the apocalypse, right? The scenes in the end, in the post-apocalypse scenes with the are very short. So they took those scenes and basically built the whole game around them.
Yes, and the story, without getting into spoilers, is canonical with those two movies.
Cool.
Your storyline connects what happens now and what you're doing in the Resistance to the movies. Okay, so you like when you finish the story, you're like, okay, so that connects like a few dots and says it shows you like where your part in the world was in the whole story.
Yep.
But some things I mean I still enjoyed the game. I don't know if they were the right call. For example, in those movies, it is very evident that killing a Terminator is a very hard thing to do.
Yes.
Very hard thing to do. You know, they're Terminators.
Yeah.
You know, and the game starts like that, like the Terminator chasing you, and it's basically run for your life. You can't kill it, you can avoid it, you can
survival mode.
Survival mode. But very quickly, you get weapons that can badly hurt them and kill them. And then you start killing the giant tanks and the hunter, the planes and whatever, everything is killable. So, in a way, it's like anticlimactic in a way, you know? It's like, so you made it arcadey. Kill Terminators.
I get what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't like that so much, you know? Okay, let me kill a Terminator. Make it hard.
But they're like your main enemies in the game?
Yeah,
so
you're basically in resistance. You avoid them at first.
Well, to be fair...
And then you just learn to kill them.
If I make a counterpoint to be fair, the movies... in the movies, it is very hard to kill Terminators, but that's because they're fighting with...
Old school weapons.
Old school, against a
threat,
an unknown
canonically
threat.
You can explain it, because once you start efficiently kill them, is when you have their weapons.
Yeah, the Resistance are made basically to fight those machines and how to kill them. And
the story covers that part well.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, narratively speaking...
I get it completely.
It kind of feels like a contradiction to some of the things that the movie says.
But that doesn't feel like a big criticism for the game.
Because at first it's very authentic. The ways to kill them are with ambushes, with explosives, you know, there's pipe grenades like you see in the movie and whatever. I don't want to get into spoilers. Things are very authentic. And you use like elaborate ambushes to kill them at first. But once you get the energy weapons, you fuck them up.
It makes sense. But I guess from a game point of view...
Yeah, as a game it makes sense. Game even has romances.
Oh yeah, nice.
You can lay two ladies.
It's a Polish company, isn't it?
I think so. Yes,
small Polish company. They love their fucking romances.
There's no gay or trans or anything. It's only straightforward. You only play a guy. You don't choose your gender, and you don't know what you look like. You don't customize your appearance at all. You are a story. Okay, you're a part of a story. So you just start the game. You're a guy. You can have romance with more than one party.
Voilà.
Even has sex scenes.
It's fucking cool, bro. Probably really embarrassing, but
story isn't bad. It's nice.
Voice acting.
Yes, everything is voiced.
It's good. The voice acting.
It's not bad. I wouldn't say.
Did they have a budget for normal voice actors?
It wasn't bad, bro. It wasn't bad. I mean, this is an indie niche company. The
That's
game
why
is
I'm
like
saying.
40 shekels.
Hey, man,
Not
they-
40 shekels, $40.
I mean, they had enough money to buy the franchise, the license for the franchise, so they have some money. I mean, you know, it's not
Yeah.
an easy franchise to buy.
Another criticism, I think I played on normal, I'm not sure. The game wasn't overly too hard, but also you have like a skill tree, you know, that you develop as you level up your character.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely meaningless. It's by the end of the game you unlock the entire tree.
It's completely meaningless.
By the end of the game you unlock the entire tree. So basically it's unlock first what you like better. You don't have to too much think about it. You know, in RPG games usually you say, okay,
Yeah,
I have to.
But it's not supposed to be an RPG, right? I mean, it's supposed to be an action
You
game.
level up a character, so it's in a way, in a sense, it's RPG.
Yeah,
You level up a character. Your progression is not only by the items you find, but also by the skills you pick.
I think it's an action game with RPG elements
Yes,
rather than an
yes,
RPG. You know,
agreed.
it's like Cyberpunk. When
I think that one will be much more
a friend asked me, how would you describe the game to someone who doesn't know? So I told them, I think it's going to be an RPG.
It's RPG experience.
First person RPG, role playing game. There will be a lot of action and stuff like that.
It's an open world first person.
Yes, there will be a lot of action and stuff like that. If you choose to go that route, you can.
I wonder if the combat will have like cover and.
From what I've seen in the gameplay videos, it seems like there is elements of cover and stuff like that. But again, it depends on what abilities you will choose and what will you do with it. It will be, you can play it very run and gun, but even in the most run and gun options, there are still elements of role playing, of RPG. Like you need, if you invest enough points in your ability to use that weapon, I'm guessing you'll be more accurate with that weapon, as it should be, right? If it's a real RPG, and it's not just like skill or aim based. You know what I mean? That for me determines if it's a first person shooter or an actual RPG. You know, so the game looks like it has a very heavy emphasis on combat and stealth elements, but it's first and foremost a role playing game, because you have a
no. Terminator is not first and foremost a role-playing game. It's a story narrative first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Wolfenstein. You develop your character, but it's very rudimentary, and in the end, you get everything. So it doesn't matter. Your weapons improve as you go along.
Yeah.
This is all hand-picked by the developers because it's level design. It was designed for you to find them, unless you find a secret, and then maybe you find something slightly earlier than you should, which gives you a small advantage. It wasn't super hard. You can save you have save points. Like you can save anywhere you want. You have to use the certain computer console, but they are abundantly around. So
I don't get it. All right. Well,
yeah,
it sounds like a cool game. I'll be honest. I'm gonna add it to my wish list now that you've actually played it, and you've gave your.
It's a very chilled out first person experience.
Yeah, it sounds like
nice.
It sounds like a solid recommendation, even with the criticism. It sounds like a recommendation because I'm a die-hard fan of the original two movies.
I love that.
Yeah.
But when I finished playing this game, I watched almost the entire franchise of Terminator. It made me want to watch them again.
The last movie made me not want to watch any Terminator movie ever.
I watched all of them. I watched the first Terminator, watched the second Terminator, and then I watched the horrible. No, I skipped the third one.
The third one is okay compared to the next one.
I skipped it. I don't know. The third one
really?
I don't like. That one
really?
I don't like.
The third one
with
you don't
that
like?
model Terminator girl.
The ending of without spoilers, the ending of Terminator 3 is what makes it good, in my opinion. The ending is great.
Is nice, but still.
Yeah, the two first movies are so.
I mean, the Christian Bale one is okay, and
I guess it starts okay. I don't like how.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't like the second half of it.
And the one that most people really hated, the reboot they made with Daenerys as Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I hated it.
I enjoyed it.
I hated it. I hated it so much.
There are awesome lines.
Wait, there was one worse than that after it. They brought back Sarah Connor, like the original Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton. They brought the actress. That was a shitty movie too.
I enjoyed that one too.
They basically. Without spoilers, I just say that in the very first minute of the fucking movie, they basically say, you remember those first two movies? Fuck them. Fuck those two movies. So, you know what, bro? Fuck that movie. Fuck every movie after the first two. Anyways, listen.
Enjoyed all of them.
Hey,
I'm a fanboy.
I can understand if you say that it is a guilty pleasure for you, the from the third movie and on, if it's guilty pleasure. But like a true like movie that you enjoy and recommend to other people, I can't say that on any of the other movies other than the first two.
I am so easy to please in movies, you would not believe.
Yeah, that's another difference between me and you.
So easy to please.
Anyways, bro, I need to move. I need to get the fuck out of here. Didn't even get time to talk about Outer Worlds, but we will talk about it next time because I really want to hear about it. It was great seeing you, bro, after all this time. Great hanging out, chilling out after all the time of all the quarantines and all that shit. Hopefully, maybe even next time we can get.
Are you editing this stuff?
Yeah, I'll edit it. Maybe it will take some time because I'll need to. I haven't touched that fucking specific program in a while.
I'm sure our entire listener base will be able to live with this delay.
Speaking of which, to all our 2 listeners, press like and comment and stuff. Yay. Anyways, yeah.
And share.
Yeah, share.
Tell all your friends to listen to us.
All that stuff. All the stuff that the young kids say in the other cool videos that you.
Yes, even though we publish this on YouTube and you won't make money there for sure.
No, we're not making this for money. We're making this for fun. See you around the Munch Hour.